Hello guys and welcome back to the Regular Size Man podcast. We just want to apologise before the show starts for the late episode this week. Preacher's been busy, he's had exams, I've had things going on too, so it was just better if we recorded later in the week, so we apologise. We love you equally, but yeah, we're sorry. So welcome back to episode 21 of the Regular Size Man podcast. My name is Sam, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful partner Jacob over there. He's just staring at me with those loving eyes. So anyway, how are we doing this week?
I'm doing very good. Keep the compliments coming. I think that's 2 weeks in a row where you've complimented me like that, and I'm
Your legs
appreciating
look
it a
fantastic in those shorts.
Thank you, my friend.
That's all right.
So I do get that a lot.
I could imagine. How could you
I'm
not?
doing really good, actually. I finished exams finally, and that's why we are a bit late, because I had my exam yesterday and on Monday, and today is Wednesday when we're recording this. Usually the episode will come out today. But I'm feeling really good. I watched Zombieland. I procrastinated a whole lot. I started watching that Rhythm and Flow on Netflix. The one with it's got Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, and T.I. and like they judged. It's really good actually. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
The $1 million question: how did you join the exams? That's a $1 million question.
I 100% failed my second one. No doubt. But I think I did really well in sport yesterday.
What subject did you fail?
Business analytics.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. You know what? Who cares about business?
Yeah.
Let's
just move on from that one. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I've had an up and down events this week. So the up is I bought a computer at the start of this week.
Okay.
It hasn't, I haven't got it yet. It's being built, but it cost me a lot of money. So $3,700 all up.
Ooh.
So steep purchase.
Goodbye bank account.
But it is a monster.
Okay.
So
I'm obviously going to see it.
You're going to see it. It's got lights and shit. It's pretty. It's very pretty. Bad news. The shoulder is not getting better. I'm going to get an MRI tomorrow.
Damn it.
Possible bulging disc.
And how bad is that?
We don't know. We'll have to find out. But it's a few weeks. It's a fair few weeks. So still in pain, but
That's not good.
We'll see what the MRI shows.
Yeah.
The bulging disc, it can be a while. It can be a long while.
Look, if it's a bulging disc, at least it's not another shoulder surgery though.
Yeah. Well, the GP said today, she's like, I think it's your spine. It's not your back. Not your shoulder.
That's good.
And that was good for me. Like I was happy because I'd rather not deal with another shoulder thing.
Fair.
Just because of the whole surgery I got last year, I just rather not.
Yeah,
I'd rather move on to something different.
No,
to deal with.
Let's move on to another problem in your body here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was it's bummed me out a little bit because it's been near 2 months since I've hit the gym, and it's starting to get to me now. I guess I don't know. I just miss working out. Yeah. It was a nice little release.
Yeah.
But now I don't have it, and all I got to do is fucking sit here and think about the times I was at the gym. No, but that, I'm all good otherwise.
That's good.
Uni's done. Starting to pursue YouTube and Twitch full time. So that's a good thing. So, besides the whole shoulder, back, bulge disc, I don't know, we'll update you next week. Besides that thing, I'm good. I there's no complaints. I went to PAX on the weekend. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
We'll get into that later. But, other than the whole shoulder, life's pretty good, honestly. And I'm happy about it.
All right, sweet.
And that's my therapy session for the week. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks,
that's
everyone.
All right. Happy to do it. Do you want to get stuck into it?
Yeah, all right. So box office update. So yes, you can go. Yeah, I'll let
all
you
right, yeah, all right, no problem. So the Joker movie grabbed another $55 million for the best ever second weekend at the October box office in history. It now has a total of $192 million domestically and $500 million globally. There was also an update that it actually did beat Justice League's opening week. There was a miscount or whatever in the money they earned that we said last week, but they have officially beat Justice League for opening week, which is a big thing to do.
And also, it's the first Warner Brothers movie or DC movie to cross 500 mil this year.
Yes. Yeah. So no, Warner Brothers, not just DC. Warner Brothers total.
Yeah. There you go. That's so big in itself.
That's massive. So that's second week, and that's also with Gemini Man debuting. So that's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. I've heard average things about Gemini Man.
I've heard horrible things.
So I don't think I'll be seeing it. Sorry,
I don't think I'll see it either.
Sorry guys, we're not watching it.
I might wait till it comes out or something.
Yeah, it might be a Netflix watch if you're bored, but I don't think I'll be watching it. No. So, we'll ignore that. But good job, Joker. It's a movie that definitely deserves to be, talked about. And, I was at work the other day and I was talking to one of my co-workers about it. and he was like literally giving me a different perspective on how he interpreted the movie. I'm like, wow, interesting. Because I saw it a second time. This has actually happened since we released this last podcast. I saw it a second time, and I got a whole new perspective on the movie. But we won't talk about that. We'll leave the spoilers out for today. But next, this week releasing, we have Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Zombieland Double Tap, which are both coming out this week.
Couple of sequels.
Now, we actually both watched Zombieland in the last couple of weeks. You watched it like last night. I watched it last week.
I watched it Sunday night.
Oh, there you go. A couple of days ago. But what were your thoughts on Zombieland?
I thought it was very, very funny. I thought the ending was it's a bit short. It's only 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's
a bit short, so I felt like the ending was a little bit rushed. I felt like, a spoiler, it's 10 years old. Watch the movie. When Wichita goes to the carnival, what's it called? Whatever it's called, the Playside thing with Little Rock. I felt like when Columbus and Tallahassee leave, I was like, it was really quick. Like, I don't know, I felt like it was really rushed for them to get there and then for them to face everything. But it was good. Like, I still love the movie. I think it was very funny. The zombies was really good. The action was actually surprisingly good, and I love the banter. I love the whole Bill Murray sequence as well. That was hilarious. That was
funny as...
I knew he was going to get shot, by the way, straight away.
Oh, no shit. It's one of those movies for me, like Sharknado. It's just one of those movies you just can't take it seriously, and it's the best thing ever. I go into that movie expecting it to be bad, and I'm not disappointed, and it just makes my day. I just love movies like that.
Well, actually, I don't even think it's bad. I think it's I actually think it's really good. It's just goofy. Yeah,
it's good at being goofy.
Yeah. So I think we'll see this. We'll see this new one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this week, but
sorry,
possibly next week.
That's all right. I understand. You don't care about the fans.
I don't.
All two of them.
Really
you don't care.
No. I'll see it next week with you, and then we'll do a review next week.
All right.
Yeah.
Lock it in. You heard it here, podcast.
We'll see what Brian wants to do as well.
He's not coming.
He's not coming.
And we got a couple of trailers that dropped this week. So Robert Downey Jr. His first movie since his whole Avengers thing, which is Doolittle. So it's a story about Dr. Doolittle.
It's a bit of a reboot.
But it's like a reboot. Yeah. He talks to animals. Spoiler.
And it's set in the past, not the modern day. It's wild animals, not like zoo animals. It's not like petting zoo shit. You know what I mean?
He doesn't talk to dogs and cats. He talks to lions and zebras.
Exactly. It looks. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's a movie that I will see because Kayla wants to see it. And I think it'll be for you and Annette as well. Like, I could take it or leave it, but I think the animals will make Kayla happy, and she'll be like, "Oh, can we please see this?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, okay." So I'll probably end up watching it, and you'll probably be doing the same thing. So I think we'll be doing a review anyway. I mean, it's not like I don't like the concept. It's just kind of like not for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a movie I'll see because of Robert Downey Jr.
That
but
too, yeah.
It didn't really it didn't get me excited at all. Like,
it's not.
In
I don't
any
think
way.
it's our like.
It's not really.
Genre.
It's not our genre. Plus, I thought this. I mean, don't get me wrong. CGI's come a long way, and like you can only expect so much. But I kind of thought the animals didn't look great.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure about his accent yet.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to see it in context and a bit more of it. But
it's a bit weird, eh? It's a bit weird, eh?
It's a bit weird, eh?
It's a bit how you going.
I love his sideburns though. Really nice sideburns. I wish I could grow that.
Bit of Sherlock Holmes vibes.
Definitely.
So that we'll see where we go with that. Yeah. The next one is Jungle Cruise starring The Rock, or as we like to call it, Journey to Jumanji, the Jungle Cruise. Which is a movie starring The Rock, and he's in the jungle.
And Emily Blunt.
Yep. And they're on a cruise. But you can't meme Emily Blunt here. You can only meme The Rock, so that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And as we read in the comments of this trailer, it's just The Rock is just the same person in every movie. He's just this big beefcake.
You give him some nice little beige tracksuit pants, a bit of a onesie. You plug him in anywhere the jungle. Like, it doesn't really matter. You plug him in the jungle with a gun, make him do something heroic. It's the same movie. It's good. He's good at the role. I actually really like The Rock, to be honest, as an actor. I think he's really funny. But it's the same thing every time.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like you go to Netflix. This is going to be in like 10 years. You're going to scroll to Netflix, and it's going to be action, comedy, The Rock jungle movies.
Oh, and it's going to have like 20 of them.
20.
Although I'm kind of excited for this. I have the same level of excitement as I did for when the Jumanji trailer, for the first Jumanji trailer came out, I was actually like, oh, this will be cool. I do want to see it.
We'll probably see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it's it looks funny.
It looks funny.
It looks entertaining, but
I don't think it'll be bad.
No.
And I think it'll collect a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because it's Disney.
Oh yeah, it's going to rack up a lot of money. But no, it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's just The Rock doing The Rock movies again.
A little bit, yeah.
There is a rumor that has come out that he actually walks from Jumanji set to the Jungle Book set. They're actually filmed in the same location.
Really?
No,
I thought you were serious. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I'm very compelling. But no, it looks alright. We got no
Yeah.
No, I got nothing against it. I just I've seen this.
I mean, both of these movies didn't really get me like overly excited, but like it's kind of, I think the Jungle Cruise one definitely piqued my interest a little bit more, especially because it's based off a ride. Kind of reminds me of the one in our, the local Caribbean garden, mate. A little bit of a market kind of thing.
Oh, a little bit of the local market.
It reminds me of that little Jungle Cruise thing that's never open and no one ever lines up
Been
for.
closed for 10 years.
Yeah, and like the really green, it's pretty disgusting.
It's been under maintenance for 7 years or some shit.
It reminds me of that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So, rumor mill time. Oh, that wasn't loud enough.
That was not loud at all.
That was not loud enough. I apologize. I'm sorry. Here we go. That's better. So, we have a special edition of Rumor Mill this week. This is actually thanks to Jacob. It was his idea. It's going to be called Buy or Sell Edition. So, basically, do we buy the rumor or are we going to sell it off for scraps because it's a shit idea?
Yeah.
A shit rumor. So, basically, I'll go first if you want. Actually,
yeah.
I'm just reading them and...
Yeah. Do you want me to read first?
I'm just looking at what I'll be better at answering.
I'll read the first one. I think the first... Yeah? Yeah, I'll read the first one to you because I think you'll be better with it.
Okay, hang on. Right. Ready? Rumor mill.
Okay, so a producer from the original Simpsons Hit and Run video game.
Fuck, sorry. Go on.
You made me look like an idiot. I've got to start again now. I'm
sorry. I was meant to pause it. All right, go on.
Okay. Okay. As a producer from the original Simpsons Hit and Run video game has stated that he believes the game is due for a bit of a remastering. So are we going to buy or sell this opportunity?
I'm putting a fucking $300 pre-order on this buy. No, this is actually really exciting, and I honestly am surprised that they haven't done it yet. Like a lot of properties like Spyro, Crash,
Spider-Man, kind of.
Yeah, essentially Spider-Man. They've all gotten reboots, but for some reason they haven't done a Simpsons Hit and Run.
I mean, maybe there's maybe there's legal issues with because The Simpsons is a property.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't know. They're probably just looking for the right studio to take it on. I'd like to see Insomniac do this.
Oh yeah, I would like to see it. I would also like to see it be a bit bigger as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might be something they look forward to the next generation. But I'm buying it. I buy it.
Sweet.
All right, so moving on. So, Dove Cameron has reportedly thrown her hat into the ring, expressing her desire to play Gwen Stacy in the MCU, or Spider-Gwen. So, are you buying or selling of having Gwen Stacy in the MCU?
For the moment, I'm going to sell that one. I
Why?
think, well, number one, Spider-Man's leaving. So I don't think it would make sense to bring in another of his girlfriends from the comics, no matter what role she plays.
He's a bit of a playboy, isn't he?
He's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Zendaya, you're out.
Zendaya, you're out. Gwen Stacy, you're in. Number two, we've already got MJ. I'm cool with it. Like, Zendaya's good in it. I'm cool with MJ. I don't really want to see another Gwen Stacy. So, for the moment, I'm pretty cool with it. I'm going to sell that one.
Well, it could work out. So, Zendaya dumps him. Mm-hmm. He goes into hiding. This is why Peter's been in hiding. This is Big Kev, listen up here. Zendaya breaks up with him.
Mm.
He leaves. Mm-hmm. He goes into hiding. Gwen Stacy comes out of nowhere, finds him, consoles him, brings him back. They take down Mysterio, and he fucks off into Venom.
That's
It's a rom-com. It's a
Spider-Man 3, the rom-com. Interesting take. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if I'd buy that one, to be honest. I think I might.
Neither would I, but I just thought it's the top of my head.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, so moving on.
All right, buying or selling Daniel Radcliffe as the next Wolverine.
Selling.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. But my thing is, I don't know if this is just a personal thing, but I can't have actors do two major roles in things, if that makes sense. So, for example, if like Daniel Radcliffe to me will always be Harry Potter. So to see him take up a mantle of another big character, it just is not right for me, if that makes sense. It's like if Chris Hemsworth decided to go play fucking, I don't know, I'm going to use a big example, like Batman.
Mm.
And it's like, you know, it's different things, but it's like he's already a big character and then he's going to go be another big character. So for me, it's kind of like he loses his...
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you could give it to somebody else because, you know, Harry Potter's already a staple. And credit to Daniel Radcliffe for still being...
Relevant.
He's
a good actor still.
He's still a great actor, don't get me wrong. And
I mean, all three of them are, sorry.
But like... my point is, I'd rather see somebody else, or like, you know, I feel like Daniel Radcliffe could go into just more single films or TV shows rather than because Wolverine, I'm assuming, will be a multi-movie thing in the MCU.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think he'd actually be okay. Like, I'm not saying he'd be like bad. No, sorry. I know I understand what you mean because I used to think that, but I think. Like, I know that the MCU keeps pulling in big stars, and like obviously none of them on the level that of Harry Potter, of being Harry Potter for so long. But I still think it'd be okay, and I think it's been enough time since Harry Potter's been done, and I think Daniel Radcliffe, he grows a bit of a beard, bit of a stubble. I think he'll be okay, and I think I'd be over it. I think after a little bit. Yeah, I see what you mean, 100%.
No, I don't know. Personal thing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Don't yell at me. All right. And lastly, Ryan Reynolds posted a photo on his Instagram visiting Marvel Studios with the caption, "Audition for the role of Anthony Stark. Didn't come even remotely close. Are we buying or selling the fact that Ryan Reynolds was there for talks about Marvel bringing in Deadpool into the MCU?"
I'm full buying. I'm all in on this. I reckon he's 100% doing this. There's been reports which we're about to go into about that. I think he's 100% talking to Disney about this. I think they want to get it done sooner rather than later because
Deadpool's still fresh.
Yeah, exactly. If they leave it for another couple of years, it's still going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's kind of like it's when did Deadpool 2 come out? 2018, start of 2018.
Yeah. Yeah,
another couple of years, it'll be 2021. It's still a long time, I think. So I think it's definitely true.
And I think for Ryan Reynolds as well, like, you know, he's got his Ryan Reynolds charm, and you know that'll last a number of years. But he's got his young charm, like, you know what I mean. Yeah. He'll go into like a Clooney phase eventually, like where he's just old and just suave. But
he's beginning to join that. Actually.
He's starting to get there. Yeah. So you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be in a walking stick, and he's still gonna wink. And,
100%. Yeah. He'll have a top hat.
He'll have a top hat. He'll fucking tip his fedora. Anyway, so this actually comes about the news. We're going to go into this quickly. That Deadpool writers have confirmed that Disney or Marvel have allowed them to continue to make R-rated Deadpool movies in the future. So this is actually pretty big, and I don't know where to stand with this. For like, okay, let me go back. So Marvel Cinematic Universe is PG-13. Deadpool movies obviously are. So does this mean that there's going to be another Deadpool movie that's out of the MCU, or they're going to just allow Deadpool to have an R-rated movie inside the MCU? What do you think? Where do you think this like takes us? Because obviously, you know, Big Kev and, you know, Disney have made this PG-13 spin on Marvel, and obviously it's very successful. And Deadpool's also been very successful in his R-rated thing, and bringing him down to a PG level will make it a lot more difficult, I feel, for the writers. So the fact that they have the opportunity to keep doing this, do they hold off on the MCU or not?
I think it'll be a combination of the two. I think it'll be set in the Earth and the universe of the MCU, but I don't think they will and I think the Deadpool will openly talk about break the fourth wall, that he's in that universe and he'll make jokes and all that stuff. But I don't think there will actually be proper cameos, and it'll be like, and they'll use Deadpool in future movies, if that makes sense, like future Avengers movies or any kind of team up movie. I think it'll be like Deadpool's in his own I don't know how to put it without contradicting myself. He'll be in his own kind of state, but he'll be still in the MCU. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, basically what they said was they hope that Marvel and Disney let them veer into the MCU a little bit as well and play like the sandbox thing. But I think they're going to be taking it slow.
I think so too.
So I think what they'll do, in my humble opinion, is they'll make another Deadpool movie and they'll hint at the fact or like put in like a whole like thing that is in the MCU of, I don't know how they'll do it. They'll come up with a creative way, I'm sure. Or like, but they'll like allude to the fact he's in the MCU and then he'll be in a bigger movie such as maybe X-Men is my guess. He might feature in that, or he might do a movie with Wolverine. Like, you know what I mean? I think he'll have a third movie and then they'll hint at the fact he's in the MCU and then they'll go to it, maybe an after credit scene or some shit.
I think you're spot on. I think, but I think what they'll do is in the Deadpool 3 movie, or if you're going to call it Deadpool 3. I suppose
you'd hope he's in the Deadpool 3 movie.
I suppose you are calling it Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
I think what they'll do is they'll do like a scene where he's maybe driving past Avengers Tower, or former Avengers Tower, or I think there'll be a big hint in the background of the thing, of the movie, of the scene.
Might be like an Easter egg or something.
Yeah, where they're making it like 100% obvious that this is the focus, that he is in the MCU, but they're not going to be like, they're not going to make him say it, if you know what I mean.
You know what would be funny?
I feel like there's a scene in one of the two Deadpools where that happens. Something like that.
I reckon what you could do, I just thought of this on my head, you could have to make it better than what I'm going to say it. But it's like he's driving or something and he sees Tom Holland on the side. He's like, oh, that's Spider-Man. And like he says, makes a joke out of it. Or just something really subtle like that.
I don't think they'll use Tom Holland. Oh, they might actually.
I don't know who else they'd use.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I think they'll do something extremely obvious within the movie and then they won't talk about it again for that movie. I think like it'll just be that one thing and that's it.
Or maybe they say like Old Man Rogers and they'll be like, that looks like Captain America.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it'll be similar to that. Just it'll be that massive big wink and nod that's extremely obvious to the audience. They'll be like, yep, he's here, he's in Disney, he's in the MCU, but I don't think they'll connect the two.
Do you reckon they'll do it after credit scene or like within the movie?
No, they'll do it within the movie and then the after credit scene, I would imagine would set up X-Men, but
we'll see.
Because the whole talk before the whole Marvel and Disney, so the whole Disney and buying 20th Century, was that Deadpool 2 set up the X-Force movie, which was gonna happen,
but it hasn't,
and that's not gonna happen anymore. But so maybe instead of setting up X-Force, it's setting up X-Men, and that's the natural path he takes.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, moving on. So, another news segment. Jacob was on fire. He's being a bit creative this week, called Newsflash. So, basically what Newsflash is we've found these pieces of news of like stories that we've talked about before that have developed in some way, or there's just new news that have come out that we don't, we care for, but there's like not enough to talk about as a proper topic. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, this happened. It's cool. Moving on. So, we're not going to do this every week unless there's like a couple topics, or we might do it every week depending on what news comes out. But it's not going to be like a priority. Like it's just going to be there if we if there's news to talk about, we'll talk about it. Exactly. But otherwise, it's kind of just not going to bother unless there's like at least 3 pieces of news that we want to cover in this. So yeah, did I explain that well enough?
Perfect.
All right, fantastic. So starting. So as we talked about a few weeks ago, we talked about WandaVision. So a new development. Oh, there was a rumor. I think we covered it in a rumor.
We covered a rumor, yeah.
That Wiccan, which
we
is
can't.
We can't.
We can't.
We can't talk
we
about
can't
that.
talk about it.
So Wiccan, Wanda's son, is going to be in the show, and it's been confirmed that Wiccan and Speed will be in the show. That's that.
Yeah. So just quickly, I think Speed will be a nod to Quicksilver.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's
exciting.
Cool. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't like. My only thing with this is I don't understand how they're going to make this show entertaining with the way that it's been portrayed to me.
I don't have any concern.
I don't have concern. No, I don't have concern. Don't get me wrong. I don't. And with Big Kev in his new role, we'll talk about that soon. I have no concern whatsoever. But to me, all I've understood from this show, it's their life together, growing up, and now their kids are going to be in it. It's like, what superhero why is she going to need to be a superhero?
That's a good point.
Like, what is the point?
It's going to be compelling to see who the antagonist is.
And why is this like a thing? Like, why is this a problem?
But it might be something it might be a mental thing where, I don't know, maybe because she's imagining this. She is imagining this. So maybe it's in her head, and then the villain is someone that's controlling her, and I don't know.
Maybe it's a time where she was like before she like joined Avengers.
But it can't be though, because she hasn't met Vision yet.
See, I don't fucking know. I'm confused.
It's going to be interesting to see who the antagonist is. I'm sure that'll come out within the next few months.
We'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, cool. So, director of the first Venom movie, Ruben Fleischer, Bye, Felicia. Not joking for a second. So Ruben has stated that a crossover between Spider-Man and Venom is the end goal for Sony. That's where it's all going to lead. There's a quote from him, and wow, I'm pretending to be shocked right now that Sony wanted to do this.
Yeah, wow. I can't believe this is what they wanted to do.
No. That's not why they, tried to not renegotiate or tried to be stubborn about having Spider-Man. That's why they needed Spider-Man in one of their movies.
I love how they phrase it end goal rather than end game.
Yeah, I know. They're just like, fuck you, Marvel.
It would not be good for them if they said end game.
Oh, it would have been funny as.
Yeah, that's exciting though. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
we kind of knew it was coming. This is more just proper confirmation.
Everybody knew it was coming, man.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was coming.
Yeah. It will be exciting to see how they do it though.
It'll be. Well, they want it. Okay.
They could screw it up.
More on this. They want it to be a confrontation between Spider-Man and Venom, which you didn't write there. Come on, Jacob. Be better.
Sorry, I'm being a bit
basically, what they want is Spider-Man. I said Vitaman. Fucking
Vitaman.
Yeah, that's what Spider-Man's going to become when he takes a symbiote. So basically, they want a confrontation between the two. They'll probably cut half an hour out of the movie and, miss the bit why they're confronting. They're just upset at each other for no reason.
at this point, yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, that's gonna happen. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. All
Exciting.
Right. Yeah. And today, actually, Riot Games, so they're the makers of League of Legends, that really popular free game that makes a lot of money in esports. They celebrated 10 years of League of Legends, and they announced League to be releasing on mobile and on console, which is pretty big, and alongside another project called Project A, which is a tactical-based shooter, kind of a crossover between Overwatch and CSGO, get to feel. However, this is quite different, and I was trying to explain this to Jacob before. They're really taking a different approach with this game. Basically, what they're doing is focusing on a lot of mechanical stuff. So they're talking about ping and cheating and, really just advantages in games that a lot of other big developers miss when they focus more on their game. So they're focusing a lot on their game, but they're also focusing on how, ping will play a factor in games and how, if you peek a wall, how will the enemy see you compared to how you'll see them and stuff like that, that really just gets left out in a lot of development cycles. So they're really focusing on the little things. And that's how they've come out of the gate when they've announced this game. So I think they're doing the right thing here because it's going to be a very competitive game, I'm assuming. But keen to see more developments on that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It looks exciting. I think, as you just said, it's going to be leaning into very hardly the competitive nature of it. So it'd be cool.
Because the amount of money that League of Legends makes on their world championships and the viewership that it brings in, it's by far, it's in front by a mile. So this is probably another game they're looking to have a multi-year, an ongoing game.
I would imagine.
Of competitive.
I would imagine so, yeah.
It looks exciting. I'm keen to see what they bring out with this because it looks like a new game that's going to be fun.
Likewise.
Alrighty, so moving on to our only Marvel thing of this week. I mean, you can get the Deadpool thing, but our only formal exclusive Marvel thing of the week is about our boy Big Kev. Big Kevin Fiege.
Our man, our friend.
Our good man, Kev. So the title of this podcast, can we name this podcast Big Kev Gets a Promotion?
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. I hope that everyone understands who Big Kev is. But look, by now you should know, but I'm happy to do that.
All right. So Big Kev received a promotion to Chief Creative Officer of Marvel Entertainment. So previously he was just in charge of the MCU and the movies and what happened there, but now he's in charge of everything Marvel. So the movies, TV shows, animation, comics, everything that happens within the Marvel Entertainment, he overlooks.
That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal for him.
It's a big deal.
He's 46 years old and he's controlling Marvel.
He deserves it though.
He does.
In all seriousness though. Obviously a lot of other people deserve credit, but the story that he has woven for the MCU and beyond is it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think he no doubtly deserves this.
Yeah. And to be fair, I saw someone make this comment today when I was reading through this again, putting together the notes for this podcast. He found a way to bring all these weird comic book characters and make them fun. You know what I mean? I think this was again on the whole Martin Scorsese thing. It was when someone else came forward and said
Jennifer Aniston.
Was Jennifer Aniston?
She came forward. She said that Marvel movies have hurt acting jobs because it's either do the big blockbuster movie or kind of nothing.
Yeah, no, it was actually supporting Marvel,
Okay, well, then
Yeah,
there
I
was
didn't know
something
that.
else I didn't see that.
Well, Jennifer Aniston, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, but he basically, I don't know, it was some actor, and he basically just said like, you know, fuck, I don't know where I was going with this, but he basically just said that Big Kev was able to do this, and good on him, and you know, go Marvel.
He deserves it big time.
Yeah, and I also saw someone say that this has the potential to make the ultimate multiverse. But I don't think he'll do that. But I just thought the idea of, if you just think of that in perspective, of how you can incorporate pretty much everything.
He can do whatever he wants.
I know. He can literally just, like, yeah, it was just, wow.
He's got complete control.
Yeah, so he's got complete control of everything Marvel, and he's going to oversee, and his workload's going to be pretty busy. He's got all the Marvel titles.
It's going to be very big.
He's got his Star Wars project that he's in the works as well. Remember that?
Yeah,
he's really got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, look, he wouldn't have taken it on if he couldn't handle it.
No.
And he'll have a great team to support him, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm actually like, in all seriousness, it sounds really weird to like congratulate him because we don't know him. But it's like, but in all seriousness, like, good job, because it's, you know, what he's done is
he's had a lot of remarkable achievements, and it gives me hope for everything. You know, Marvel, like, you know what I mean, like the TV shows, everything. Yeah. Like he's controlling the story and the direction of everything at the moment. And I think, I mean, he's shown that he can do it for 10 plus years already. Fucking good on you, Big Kev. Go the distance.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So DC, we have a couple of DC things. So first one is Jared Leto. So I know we have clowned his Joker before, and I'm sorry, Jared. But he actually reacted to the new Joker movie. And it surfaced online because apparently he felt upset and alienated by Warner Brothers for moving forward with the film without having him reprise his role. So his Joker was in Suicide Squad, and then we never heard anything again from it, and they just gave it to Joaquin and moved on without him. And he was apparently upset by it. And look, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like,
it was screwed over for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
A lot of his things got cut, which might have changed the opinion of everyone, to be honest. Because apparently it was 30 minutes of him cut. So, again, as I just said, it might have changed everyone's opinion on it, and I think it would have changed a lot of people's. Yeah. So I'd be pretty pissed off too if I was him.
And not even have him like offer audition for the fucking part of the original Joker. Like, it's a bit harsh on Warner Brothers' part. You know, I probably honestly would have preferred Joaquin anyway, but to be fair, you can kind of see the business that they're in, and it's just kind of like, nah, we don't care for you.
But also, credit to DC for moving on and kind of fixing what wasn't received very well in the same way. Because Joker's a hit, so...
Yeah, that's true. I just, thought that was pretty interesting, and...
Yeah, I agree.
Shows... I don't know what it shows.
Actors it shows are people
something. Too. But no, I feel bad for Jared Leto. He's the biggest meme Joker.
He's moving on to Morbius. He's fine. He's going to be a vampire in Marvel, so he's fine. Or Sony.
Yeah. Well, isn't this interesting?
He's going to be a vampire.
Think about this.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson went from, what was he, a vampire?
To a bat.
To the Batman. And Jared Leto's gone from the Joker to a vampire.
Interesting, actually.
What a cross.
I'd like to see that crossover.
Dun, dun.
Twilight versus Morbius.
This is actually a great transition because we're actually going into Batman.
Yes.
And we have a new casting. So, casting alert for the Batman film. So, we have a Catwoman. So, Zoe Kravitz will be playing Selena Kyle alongside Robert Pattinson in the Batman film. Now, awesome. Zoe, what has she done in her career?
If you don't know who she is, she's a really good actress. So, she's also the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, famous rock artist.
Yes, of course.
Is also now the stepdaughter of Jason Momoa, Aquaman. I know she's in Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, and she's really good in that.
Yep. So she's got Mad Max Fury Road Divergent series. She was in X-Men First Class. Didn't know that. She's Into the Spider-Verse too. She was in. I'm just looking at movies that are popular here. Yeah, that's probably the main ones.
She's a good actress. That's all.
Yeah, she's really good, and she's been in a good movies. Like, she's had a good track record, so good on her.
I think she looks really good for the part.
Yeah, she and Robert Pattinson, I feel like they have like a similar, give off a similar vibe, both of them. So I think they'll be really good together in the movie. So very, very, very exciting stuff. So good job, Zoe. Keen to see what you can pull off there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say? There hasn't been.
Oh, do you think we might do a Batman plot?
Oh, we're definitely doing a Batman plot.
I think we might have to do. I mean, we've got a bit more information now.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, Brian and I had a very long discussion about this. We talked about we talked about in the Joker review. Go check that out if you haven't already. But we talked about how we don't think that you could do another villain as like the main character in a film like the Joker. And he mentioned to me Ra's al Ghul, and we just got into a debate about how you could introduce Ra's al Ghul into these Batman movies. And anyway, it was interesting.
Brian will have this discussion, but he won't come back to the podcast.
He will not. No. We beg, we scratch at his door, we yell. He ignores all of it.
We're sending him threats. No, we're not. I'm kidding.
I'm sending him threats. I'm sending him threats.
I'm writing to Nando's to shut down the local Nando's if he doesn't come back.
He would actually cry.
He would cry. He would come back to the podcast for that.
Oh, no doubt.
Alrighty. So, moving on. We have a bit of gaming news this week, mainly from me. Jacob's just going to listen. Oh, no. The second part's just going to be me talking for a few minutes. Yeah. But the first one is Fortnite Chapter 2. So, if you don't like Fortnite, I apologize. We'll make this quickly. If you do like Fortnite, we'll make this very long.
A little bit longer.
So, basically what happened, to sum it up, Fortnite ended Season 10. And basically what
Season X,
sorry. On, man. The 10th season of Fortnite ended, and they do a live event at the end of every season. And this season, they basically had a meteor and a bunch of other things suck up the entire map, and the whole game just went black.
Yeah.
So there was just a black screen, and it was just like it was like a black hole, essentially. And the game was dark for 36 hours. So servers were down for 36 hours. Nobody could play it. Nobody could do anything. The game was just offline for 36 hours, and they blacked out their Twitter, removed all their tweets. They did everything. Yeah. And then last night at 7 p.m, they brought it back up, and what they've done is introduced a new map. They've really revamped the entire look of the game. A lot of new things to do, but basically it was just a great marketing stunt.
It's a good idea.
Very good.
I'm very happy with it. I heard leaks about it. Obviously, there was all that leaks about Chapter 2, the new thing, and I was extremely excited because I haven't played Fortnite since Season 7. I'd probably say like properly. Just because it kind of got a bit boring for me. I did enjoy it, but I mean, I'm not very good. But I kind of got a bit bored. And this is exactly the revamp it needed because I'm going to get back onto it. So like they did their job. I'm going to go back and play. It looks really, really fun.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You know how Season 10 or Season X was like the worst season and a lot of people hated it and stopped playing?
Yes.
I reckon they did that on purpose. This is my theory. They didn't. The worst thing about Fortnite in Season 10 was the mechs. A lot of people were upset with them. And what they did was they made the game intentionally shit and made this overpowered thing so people would stop playing it for a little bit. Then the game would go dark and people were like, I need to play this game again. And so people would reminisce on all the memories of Fortnite and like be like, oh, I remember when this happened and the game was so good. And it's like the end and, and they brought it back and they've made it good again. They've added a bunch of good things. It's like a brand new game essentially. And everyone's like, oh my God, I remember this game. It's so amazing. I love it. And people have gone back to it. And literally the views on Twitch and YouTube have been ridiculous. Just everything about it, it's just revamped a lot of things for it.
I think you're right.
I think it was just a giant PR stunt.
I think so too.
Very calculated as well.
I think so too. I think obviously they still want people playing it because it's still a game and they've got to earn money. But I do think you're right. I think they did strategically kind of go, let's make it to a point where fans are hungrier more than ever to have what they used to have. And from all gameplay that I've watched, because I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet, it looks great. And it looks colourful. It looks awesome. Everything just looks amazing. So I'm very excited to come back.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I played it today on stream. I streamed it today. And it's different. It feels like a new game. The only thing is they don't have a lot of mobility options. The only thing is you can get around on boats.
Yeah.
But honestly...
Can't you swim a bit faster?
You can swim too, but it's not the whole map. So
I think they'll add cars soon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And the skill-based matchmaking. So... If you're good at the game, that's a problem. If you're bad like me, it actually makes it a bit more enjoyable because I can play. I actually feel like I'm going to win games these days. But to be honest, it's a fun. It's like it feels enjoyable. It's the first time I've actually enjoyed Fortnite in like probably half a year. So
that's good.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
So it's actually really good because COD comes out in 9 days. the new COD, even less now. No, 9 days. So new COD comes out in 9 days. This is good. Apex Season 3 is a lot of fun. So I've actually got games to play now, and it's honestly it's an enjoyable time for me. I won't lie. So yeah, no, it's good. It's good fun. Go check it out if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next, the PAX Australia and the Avengers game.
Let's go.
So all right, I'll start with Doom.
Unpack it for me.
I'll start with Doom because I played Doom. So Doom was one of the Doom Eternal. It's coming out in 2020. It actually got pushed back this week. That's the news for this week. They actually pushed it back to 2020 rather than a November
I did hear
release.
that actually, yeah.
And I got to play it. So what they did was they actually took sign-ups for this game to play it on the day. And so I turned up on the Saturday. PAX was like really busy. Like I couldn't even walk without skimming someone's shoulder at all times. And I got there early, and I rode straight to the Doom section. And I stand in line. It's about 10:15. Doors open at 10. It's about 10:15, 10:20, and I'm in line. 20 people behind me. They cut off the line for the entire day at 10 o'clock. And so I got the 4:30 session. So I got in at 10:20 and had the 4:30 session lined up. So I got to play it. It honestly just feels like the first one. It's just like you go through with big guns and just like destroy the enemies with like rock music playing, and it's good fun. It's just a bit of fun. So that was good. If you like the first one, you'll definitely like the second one.
Okay.
Now, the Avengers games. Now, I'm going to get going into a bit of spoilers about the game and actually talking about some details which I saw in the trailer. Are you okay with this, Jacob?
I'm happily.
Okay, guys, if you're okay with this, just say nothing.
Let us know.
Fantastic.
In 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Yeah, okay, they're fine. All right. So basically, what happened is I got to play the prologue. So that gameplay that's released online, I got to play through that. It's honestly it felt fun, and what they've done is basically there's hand-to-hand combat per usual, and then I've noticed that each character does have their own like ability. So when you play as Hulk, for instance, you can like slam. You can do a Hulk smash. So you're in the air and you can press double tap triangle and it smashes on the ground. So I got to test out with a little bit of abilities. Hulk does take damage and he does have a damage bar. I didn't actually see what happens if he dies because his health did take a while to deplete. But I know he does take damage. So I'm not sure if he dies or if he just what I would prefer is if he crouch down or he
needs a bit of time to maybe
get back,
kind of get back. Yeah. Maybe he shrinks a little bit to not like medium-sized Hulk, and as you said, he needs a bit of time to go a bit.
Yeah, I don't know, but he does definitely take damage. He does have a health bar. One of the things I did like is each character has their own special abilities. So I don't know if I was saying this to you or someone else. So basically, when I was playing as Captain America, he has a special ability which regens every 30 seconds after you use it. Is he can throw his shield and it'll ricochet off different people and come back to you. And you can use that once every 90 seconds or something.
Yep.
So each character does have a special ability like that. And you can have up to 3 as you keep progressing through the game.
So you can change it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, as far as I'm aware, yeah, because they did show us a little bit of customization. And this is where it gets interesting. And I'm not sure it plays differently than I expected it was going to play. So we did get a look at the map as well, which is leaked online.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the whole map of America. And basically how the game is going to run is you upgrade each character has customizable suits. And I got to see some Iron Man suits and they look really, really good.
Okay.
And it plays like you keep playing the game and you unlock upgrades for each character. So it plays did you ever play The Division or Destiny or any of those games?
No, I know about them, but
so basically it plays from what I watched in this trailer and how I understood it. It plays in a similar way. So you have the world and you have the map and you have all these different missions you do, and each mission gets progressively harder and it requires a certain level to play them. And as you keep playing, you unlock new customizable things for each character. So a arm piece for Iron Man or shin pad for Captain America. I don't know. I'm just thinking
shin pad, yeah.
Yeah. And basically, the more you play, the more unlocks. So the previous one might have had a 20 power or 20 thing, and then this next one's got 25, and then once it all upgrades your character overall, your Iron Man will become 25 overall, whatever. And then missions require a certain overall, a recommended overall for you to play them. So as you keep playing through the game, the higher you rank, the more you keep going through the game and you keep leveling up and you keep playing the higher missions. And that's how I'm getting the feel that it kind of plays. And my only concern with this, and I think they should be okay because I don't see them doing this, is that the game becomes a massive grind and you have to play the side missions to keep leveling up. Because it's you'll keep playing and you unlock all these parts, but you're still like a level too low to keep progressing in the story. So you got to go play the side missions to level up your character and get new parts. And then like, you know what I mean? Like I don't want them to do that.
I'd imagine it'd be more of a, you can play the main missions and that's okay. And you can level up fine and like you'll be okay. But if you do the side missions, you'll be better off.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's kind of like the way that it was kind of shown off to me, because they showed like a little trailer of what to do. And that's what was shown off. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I like the idea because
sorry.
No, sorry. I like the idea because it's like it is a grind, but I don't want to be a grind in a way that takes me away from the original story as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a concern in most games, open world games, especially. I do agree with you. So you liked the game overall?
It felt good. It felt better than I anticipated.
Did you play as every one of the characters?
Yeah.
Okay. And best and worst?
Iron Man was a little tricky to play with.
Just because the flying?
The flying just took me a little bit to get used to.
Okay.
I did like playing... I liked playing as Hulk. He was fun.
How was Thor?
Thor was good, but it was just kind of like... I just felt like it was a bit OP. Yeah. But obviously, like, as you progress through the game, it'll be... I'll like get better with, like, bigger bosses.
Yeah. Okay.
My only other concern for that as well is... I hope it's not... like one of those games where it's like it just requires you to like just hit the enemy and like attack the enemy a bunch of times to beat it, and then the enemy's not that good, they're just very powerful.
I hope that's not. I mean, I think there'll be some element of that.
Yeah, but
especially in the prologue at the very least.
Yeah, well, like we played against Taskmaster in the thing, and he was like he wasn't like that. He was like he actually like held up a good fight. You know what I mean?
Was that the part where Black Widow fights him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually held up a good fight, and he actually like hit back and stuff. And it's like if you didn't time things right, he almost kills you. And I like the fact that like that's what happens. But like in some games that are like this, such as Destiny, I actually like Destiny. There's no hate on the game. It's kind of like when you get like the really really big bosses, they're a bit easier to maneuver, but they just take like it's 5 minutes of just attacking it to beat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do get what you mean.
I'd rather be like an enemy where it's like it hits you once or twice and you're dead, and it's got to deplete this thing fairly like easily.
Yeah, okay. Kind of reminds me of playing against Wilson Fisk at the start of the Spider-Man game.
That's
where you just have to keep throwing the columns at him.
That's the one. Something like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think that's probably my main concern too. So did you only get to play the prologue?
Yeah. Okay. And there was like a trailer showing off the things that I've talked about and stuff like that.
That's good.
And it showed off Kamala Khan in there too.
That's good.
She's in the prologue. Fun fact.
Sweet. Yeah. So is it how smooth is it?
It runs pretty well. It honestly feels like most other games like this, like most other fighter like action games.
It's pretty good considering it's still an alpha stage.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of feels like have you ever played Tomb Raider?
Yes.
It kind of feels like that, the combat wise. Like just like combat-ish. Like it's that similar style where it's like, they throw a punch and you got to time it well to dodge it and like counter and stuff. So it plays like a lot of other like action games to me.
How would you compare it to Arkham? I mean, it's obviously like a very early comparison.
Black Widow like plays very similar to Arkham.
I'm down.
You know what I mean? Like it's that whole like fight battle stuff.
And I'm cool with that I'm cool with that for a character like Black Widow, because that's actually what would actually have to happen.
Yeah.
It's not she can't just get you one shot most of the time. So I like that. I like that.
I think in some stages it'll play like a bit like this character, like you come to this thing and this character, you're using a character, but you're like, oh shit, I can swap to Iron Man and do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it doesn't tell you to do it, but it gives you the option to. You know what I mean?
Bit like Lego. Lego, yeah.
Pretty much. But like my thing is like, if they did that in a way, I wouldn't want that for the entire game, but I would want it for certain missions. Mm-hmm. I think if they switch it up a bit, it'll be fine. Like though I wouldn't have an issue. It'll be good fun.
Yeah.
But there is a beta coming out soon. I don't know. Like it just says pre-order for beta access, so who knows?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting
so there's a beta coming out soon. I will cover it. But honestly, I did have fun. It was a fun game to play, and I'm really, I think it'll be a fun game come full release.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah. And lastly, the PS5 got announced.
Yeah. We sound a little bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because it got announced the day after we recorded last week. So it's kind of had a week and a couple days to sink in for us. So
yeah. Well, what happened was Sony or PlayStation or whatever just released a tweet saying, "Oh yeah, PS5's coming next year," It's just out of nowhere. There was no like video.
It was
there was
really
no nothing.
it was so random.
It was just such like a random tweet.
It was just it's coming holidays 2020,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people was kind of like, what's holidays for? Because I mean, it has a lot of meaning for different people. So holidays could be summer holidays for America, which would be June 2020, July 2020. It could mean holidays for us, which is January 2020.
Holiday usually means like Christmas time.
I mean, I thought that too.
Yeah.
But, it was a bit up for speculation.
My guess is probably around mid-November. I'm going prediction now.
There is no doubt it'll be before Christmas.
My prediction, 24th of November, 2020.
24th, okay.
24th of November, 2020. You heard it here
There
first.
is no way they won't do it before Christmas.
Oh, no, they will.
They
It'd
will.
be stupid.
They will lose out on so much money if they don't.
they're going to do it. It's going to be before Christmas. It'll be in November, is my guess.
24th. You heard it
24th
here.
is my
You heard it
prediction.
here, folks.
If I get this right,
Yes.
every single person listening to this will donate to our Patreon when we get one eventually
Done
one day.
Done deal.
Because of how on the money we are.
I will happily donate.
So, so all the confirmed details we have, it's called the PlayStation 5. They're not doing anything special there, like Xbox and changing numbers and names. It's just PlayStation 5. It'll probably be like a standard price. Nothing really, out of, you know what I mean? Like it's...
Yeah. I mean, how much was the PS4 when it came out?
It's like 600 or something.
Yeah, so it'll be I think it'll be a little bit more.
Yeah.
It'll be like 650.
Maybe.
7.
Probably even pushing 700 because of how powerful it is.
Yeah.
Because like what it's going to have is it's going to be using AMD technology. So AMD specs. It's going to be...
Can you break that down at all? Because I don't know what that means. So I would imagine a lot of people don't know what that means.
It's like basically running like an insane computer. So my computer right now runs an i7 processor.
Yep.
This one's going to have 8 cores of an i9, I'm pretty sure. So basically it's going to be it's going to be like running a good computer.
Yeah.
In these days, like if you bought a computer with the equivalent specs, you'd be probably paying $3,000 to $4,000 at least. And packing that into a console. Which is really cool.
Do you know if that picture that we posted on our Instagram and that has kind of been floating around, is that what it looks like, or is that
picture you can go check out on TRSM podcast on Instagram? Is the official? It's pretty much a dev kit, is what it's called. It's not. I don't think it's the real dev kit, but the dev kit looks very similar. What the dev kit is basically the console. So it has all the working parts of it. Basically just chucked into a box and sent to developers so developers can use the technology to develop their games. So the PS4 dev kit looked like a fucking toaster.
It looks whack.
The PS4 one, yeah. So PS4 one obviously looked different to the release one. However, it's just like an early model that they use to just so they can give it to developers and have them working on their launch titles and other games.
It'll be quite big then, I think, judging from that.
Yeah.
It looks bulky.
Yeah, well, it won't be too bad. I think it'll be similar to the PS4 size.
Okay.
The controller is going to be a little bigger than the Xbox One controller. So I'm holding it up for you right now. It's going to be a little bigger. It's going to weigh just a little bit more than this.
I don't like that.
Oh, hang on. I have a controller thing.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be a little heavier than this. Catch? Can you catch?
Yep.
It's going to be
Got it,
little bit heavier than that. They say, which I don't know if it's going to be like size wise. I'm not sure how big they're going to make it. But they're updating the technology with the triggers and like everything else and the thumbsticks to make it they're changing the rumble to make it a more quote innovative experience.
I've heard that. Yeah, I know that they were having a new controller,
but it has better speaker, USB-C connectivity, which is like
I did hear that. So it's fast charging.
Yeah, and a larger capacity battery. So that's cool. Like that's all good. That's what we want.
Yep. I
have faith in PlayStation. They're gonna have backwards compatibility. It's gonna support PlayStation VR. I think they're really going in on this being their best console yet because it's going to be a very powerful console.
Yeah.
And so is the Xbox, the new Xbox Project Scorpio as well. That's coming out next year. Going to be very, very powerful consoles, and I'm excited because they're going to be supporting ray tracing and up to 8K like quality, which is like 4 times
be insane.
Normal HD. So very exciting across the board, and I think that overall it's going to be a very exciting time come 2020. I'd say start saving now. I'm buying both consoles.
I'm gonna have to save, big time. I'm very excited for it.
The question is, will Fortnite be on there?
I think Fortnite will still be going. Yeah. I don't know what the state of it will be, but I think it will still be going.
It'll still be going for a couple of years. Anyway, it's going to be coming out holiday 2020, and I could imagine like the Xbox will come around at the same time. Look, honestly, it's just they're going to be very monster powerful systems, and they're going to be doing a lot of things. And I honestly say, if you are a console gamer, definitely look into this one because these like next generation, they're going to be really stepping up the game and stepping up the ball. Like, you know, they didn't really achieve 4K until the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X came out. Like that was their first step at 4K quality. And now they're looking to go to 8K with the first edition of their console.
It's a big leap.
So it's a big leap and it's very exciting. And they have like, you know, ray tracing and all that, which just makes everything better. So honestly... When is
E3?
June
No, I think
year.
so. There'll be a bit of stuff there.
Definitely a bit of thing at June next year at E3. But I think that's when they'll like properly like show off the console and everything about it and probably reveal some of the launch titles.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And when Sony's out of place, that'll be September or August.
They come like a few times a year. But I'm hoping that Sony does go to E3 next year to show it off.
I'm sure they will. I mean, you did think so because then they'll be gaining hype for November.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, all we know is it's like we're looking at a November release. It's holiday, but that's what they've done in the past is November.
Yep.
And I couldn't imagine it's kind of like the perfect time because it's like close enough to Christmas so they can put it out for Christmas sales. But not too close to the point where people have already bought their Christmas presents.
And also to the if it's roughly November 24, like you've said, it also gives enough time so if they sell out immediately, they can still get more stock in to those stores.
And furthermore, it's peak game season for me anyway.
Yeah, it will be.
Like November, like it's really like October, late October to about March is like peak game season where all the big games come out. So exciting stuff all around.
Big stuff.
Big stuff. Big exchanges of the wallet. Big
massive exchanges of the wallet.
We're gonna be forking out a lot of money, but that's okay. But yeah, that is it for this week.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks before we head on out?
Not so much this week. Some good topics talked about. Please let us know what you think of Newsflash, the new segment, as well as the buy and sell edition of Rumour Mill.
Yes, and just for copyright purposes, this has nothing to do with The Flash from DC Comics.
Nothing to do with
completely original and it's completely different use of the English language, and it's just not to do with being fast. It's just English language.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Very well said.
Thanks, DC. But yeah, that was it. Now that we're both on break, we're going to be hopefully looking to do some videos.
Yeah, so we'll keep you updated on that.
We'll keep you updated on some videos because I think we really want to do that, but we just have been lazy and we just kind of finished. So this is our first thing doing after like the break. So looking for like probably starting next week, we'll start looking at ideas and we'll get some videos out to you soon. So don't you guys worry. It's covered. Don't worry. But anyway, that is it for this week's podcast. Anything else?
Nothing at all.
All right. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you want to check us out on our social medias at TRSM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We hope you guys have a great week. Sorry for being late again, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have a good one.